Hello, my name is Jean Quintus and I am publishing a new fly every month on my website www.meckejang.lu. You see it there.
The fly of the month of May 2013 is a Ryacophila nymph. To tie this fly we will use a TMC 400T in size 10 up to 12. A black medium tying thread. The tail will be made with a CDC puff in white. For the rear body we will use a fine dark grey or olive dubbing. The thorax will be made with a fine black dubbing. The body ribbing will be made with an ostrich herl in white, and for the body cover we will use a transparent latex. The legs will be made with a black cock hackle. For the ribbing we will use a fine copper wire. The weighing will be made with lead wire, and in addition we will use a black permanent felt pen. We will start by winding the lead wire from the curvature of the hook to the eye of the hook. Tear off the excess of lead wire. And add a drop of instant glue on the lead wire to secure the windings. Then we will tie in the thread at the eye of the hook and wind it down into the curvature of the hook. Here we will cut the excess of the thread and tie in two of these CDC puff feathers as a tail. Tie the feathers in directly behind the lead wire. Then we will wind the thread back on the lead wire and tie in a strip of latex of about 5 mm that you bias cut to make it easier to tie it in. Tie it in and pull on it to make it thinner. Secure it back to the tail, wind the thread back, and then tie in the copper wire, which will be used as final ribbing. Then we will tie in behind the lead wire the ostrich herl, twist some dubbing on our tying thread, and wind the rear part of the body. Then we will wind the ostrich herl to the front to rib this rear part of the body. Tie off the ostrich herl. Cut off the excess. And then twist some black dubbing onto your tying thread to wind the thorax of the fly. Tie in the black cock feather, which will simulate the legs of the fly, and wind a few turns with the black cock feather. Tie off the cock feather. And tear off the excess. Now we will flip over the latex strip to the eye of the hook and tie it in immediately behind the eye of the hook. We will now rib the body of the fly with a copper wire. Tie off the copper wire at the eye of the hook and cut off the excess of the copper wire. Wind a few additional turns on the latex and a few in front of the latex behind the eye. Then pull on the latex and cut off the excess of latex. Wind the head of the fly. Whip finish. And cut off the thread. Trim these few fiber tips that are obstructing the eye of the hook. And trim the tail so that we have a very short white tail. Then we are going to paint the latex cover of the thorax with our black permanent felt pen and add a drop of black head cement to the head of the fly.
can download the detailed tying instructions for this fly and for all the previous ones on my website www.meckejang.lu. Leave a message in the guest book with your email address and I will send you a mail every time a new fly is published. See you and tight lines!